Imagine you and 3 friends get together for an experience. Enter, discover, and record what's in Area 51. So guys, today we're going to discuss a little about another little talked about film by Oren Peli, creator of the Paranormal Activity saga, Area 51. Hi guys, I'm Alex, and this is Paranormality, a channel entirely dedicated to paranormal activity. And it looks like we're going to talk about even more things than that now, right? Well, without further ado, let's get to the video. Just a heads up that there will be spoilers for Area 51. Before we start, I have a few things to say. I stopped production on the second episode of Backrooms Meetings to make this video, and so you don't run out of content and miss me. Moving on to the film itself, you might find few reviews online, and the few that there are bad-mouthing the film. But for those who are fans of PA, we know how the films in the franchise are unfairly criticized, and it seems that this one was no different. Another thing that many people say about this film is, how does a group of 3 young people manage to invade a highly militarized and guarded zone? Well, folks, here are some points to highlight that don't break the plot, at least in my opinion. First, one of the members is the daughter of an Area 51 worker who disappeared. She has access to some camouflage technology and so on. And the other point that I found very interesting, during the dialogue, one of the characters explains the following reasoning. A bank expects to be invaded. That's why it has a whole security apparatus. Area 51, on the other hand, is so mysterious and has a reputation for being highly militarized that people are afraid to go there. Therefore, it doesn't expect to be invaded, and that's why it doesn't have as much security. And the third crucial factor, and what makes these young people so special, is that they promptly subscribe to this channel, because they know that only those who subscribe to this channel and like the video gain the skills and intelligence necessary to invade Area 51, or any secret base in the world. In addition, there's the fact that the facilities are only underground, which in itself makes access difficult. Well, here we have 3 friends, some of whom, just like in Paranormal Activity 1, are played by actors who have exactly the same names. Reed Warner as Reed, Darren Bragg as Darren, and Ethan Cole as Ben Rovner. The movie doesn't start with them, but with Reed's family talking about how he had changed radically before he disappeared, going from a guy with usual tastes, including winning sports competitions since he was a child, to someone obsessed with ufology, Area 51, aliens, and the like. And we also see other people, friends and relatives of Reed's other colleagues. And here's the last interviewee's quote. If someone, even if they get a video from inside Area 51, that person is going to be in trouble. Then we start the movie itself. The movie starts with Reed, Darren, and Ben going to a party. So far, so good. But there comes a time when the lights go out and Reed disappears. One of his friends even suspects he sees something in the woods. When they return on the road, Reed simply appears right in front of the car in a catatonic state. And here, I have to admit that the film didn't drag on at all. Stark 3 months later. We now see the 3 colleagues preparing for the mission. It's impressive that it only took 3 months to prepare, something I found a bit forced, but the record time may have happened because of some kind of brainwashing that occurred with Reed. Here we see that they have a whole team of equipment, including a jammer, which is used to block cell phone signals, a ton of cameras, to our delight, and they are constantly taking ammonia pills to reduce the urea in their bodies and be able to pass through the ammonia detectors present around Area 51. During the trip, we see that Reed is more excited about what is going to happen. Darren is equally excited, but because of the greatness of being the first civilians to invade and film what is inside Area 51, and Ben is the most skeptical of all. Usually, this type of character is the one who gets caught in the end. During the conversation, besides talking about the idea that a bank tends to be more closely monitored than Area 51, because the former, unlike the latter, is more likely to be invaded, and so on. Reed says something else. Given the area around the military base and the number of soldiers, there would be no way to have extensive patrols in the region. And then you ask me, Alex, how does Reed have an idea of the number of soldiers in the region? Well, that can be answered by whoever Reed is contacting on the phone. I'll tell you about that person later. And then they arrive in Las Vegas and check into a hotel, which even Ben gets excited about. But then, the plan is revealed. Read. From the balcony of the building, we can see Janet's airport. Janet, for those who don't know, is the unofficial name of a government airline responsible for taking military personnel and workers from secret government bases to their workplaces, including Area 51. And yes, folks, it really exists. Then we are introduced to another member of this team, Jelena. Jelena had a father who worked at Area 51, and that's where Reed had the precious information. She takes the three guys to a warehouse where she hid her father's documents, including the map of Area 51 and information about an employee who worked in Sector S4. I have to admit that the second time I watched the movie, I didn't hear this information. But for me, Reed and Jelena kept in touch through the deep web. That's where I found this movie. Yes, folks, I had to access the deep web to find and rewatch this movie, so I'm already liking and subscribing because it was hard work just to find the movie, let alone making the video. So I'm counting on your help by liking and subscribing. And comment something like, I loved this movie, or something like that, because that will really boost the channel. Well, Jelena tells the guys that her father was following another employee who had access to Sector S4. This sector granted greater access to Area 51, something that Jelena's father didn't have. They get information from another guy and follow this employee, even keeping a certain distance so as not to arouse suspicion and arrive at his house, which is the same one from Paranormal Activity 1. The idea is to see if they can get the fingerprints, passwords, and cards of this employee, with the intention of breaking into Area 51. They wait until nightfall for him to leave the house so Reed can go in and get the necessary items. And they can do it! Well, the next step is to literally go to Area 51, which is in the middle of nowhere. And guys, I'll leave that part for next time. But for that, I need your approval. So comment there, we want a sequel. This will not only give me feedback, it will boost this channel since it's quite small. So any like, subscription, and comment helps a lot. Comment what you think. I particularly like this beginning. We only saw the first 30 minutes of the film and we already got a lot of information. Guys, comment if you want reviews of other found footage or horror films, fan-mades, creepypastas, because this type of video is a lot of work, but I enjoyed doing it. So comment if you want more content and leave a like, because this type of video was a lot of work. And bye!